When I heard there was going to be a Clone Wars panel at this year's San Diego Comic-Con to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the show, I knew something big would be announced. With Dave Filoni wrapping up Star Wars Rebels earlier this year, and the new animated show Star Wars Resistance not coming for a while, there was every opportunity to give us something to fill that gap. What I didn't expect was the full return to the series, with the final few episodes brought together as Season 7 of Star Wars The Clone Wars. Being revealed at the end of the panel with a trailer for the 12-episode season, it will arrive on Disney's new streaming service sometime next year. Today, I'll be breaking down the SDCC trailer, as well as giving my thoughts on the return of the show as a lifelong Clone Wars fan. The trailer opens with quotes from Captain Rex during the series, as the camera zooms out of his custom Phase 2 helmet. Clone troopers can also be seen reflected in the black of his visor, before increasingly more quotes from a variety of clones and episodes can be heard. The camera continues to move past the helmets of different clones that appear to be in a war zone. As Phase 1 helmets make way for Phase 2 ones, the action gets more intense and the dialogue gets more desperate and combat-oriented. A missile then explodes behind Rex's helmet, which causes the rest of the helmets to get caught in the flames of the explosion, destroying the battlefield. This is a great summary of the show as a whole, with dialogue from certain episodes which resonated among both the creators and fans, while also alluding to how almost every aspect of the Clone Wars got better as the show went on, a parallel to how the war got more intense as the Republic entered the final year of conflict with the Separatists. Next, we are greeted with the opening fortune cookie that is seen before every episode and reflects the major lesson or theme of that story. This time it tells us that the series, and to a larger extent the Clone War, will be finished in this final season. While it is evident that not every unfinished story could be a part of Season 7, it is clear that Filoni and Lucasfilm Animation want the series to have the resolution that it deserves. As far as what stories will make it into the 12-episode lineup, I believe it is clear that if episodes were adapted into different media after the show's cancellation, as was the case with Son of Dathomir and Dark Disciple, they won't be retold in animated format. From what we see throughout the rest of the trailer, I believe that we will get fully animated versions of the Bad Batch and Crystal Crisis arcs, released as story reels on StarWars.com, as well as the 4-part Siege of Mandalore arc that was originally planned to be the series finale during production. Our first look at the new episodes comes next, with a completed version of one of the first shots of the Bad Batch arc, taking us back to Anaxis, which has since been explored decades later in Rebels. The long shot deviates from the source inside the base, as the section that seems to be made specifically for the trailer is mixed in. Classic Star Wars music swells as Anakin, Rex, and Hunter from Clone Force 99 walk out and look up at a massive Republic fleet, compiled of Venator-class Star Destroyers, Acclamator-class assault ships, and Arquitens-class light cruisers. A few Z-95 headhunters then fly off towards the fleet, before the Star Wars The Clone Wars logo reforms. Being able to watch the Bad Batch arc in its final state is exciting, as the episodes were equal parts ambitious and entertaining in telling a story focusing on the battles. It is good to see that more general audiences will also be able to experience this story. One subtle change is the positioning of Star Wars above the TCW font. For the entirety of the show's televised run, the logo always read as Star The Clone Wars Wars, so I welcome this simple change to make the iconic logo more readable for newer fans. The final scene of the trailer gives us a direct scene from the Siege of Mandalore arc, as Anakin and Obi-Wan enter the bridge of a Venator to meet with Rex, discovering that Ahsoka has contacted them. From Ahsoka's dialogue in this scene, we can assume that this is the first time she has seen Anakin since she left the Jedi Order in Season 5. While there were planned episodes involving Anakin and Ahsoka on a mission together before this, it is unclear whether that unseen arc is still canon. Important to note here is that the character models have been updated to bring the characters closer to Revenge of the Sith. Anakin has his Jedi mullet, and his eyes are sunken from the stress of the war. Obi-Wan has removed the last of his armor and is sporting his full robes, and Ahsoka is wearing clothes that resemble what she ends up wearing in Rebels, while her leku have grown longer, with the pattern starting to become wilder. She is also wearing a headband that comes straight from Filoni's initial sketches of the Siege of Mandalore, which we know canonically takes place before and during the Battle of Coruscant. The trailer ends things off with this hashtag, which shows that Lucasfilm and Disney have listened to the fan uproar over the cancellation of the show for years, and care about them enough to bring the show back. It's honestly unbelievable that a 7th season of the Clone Wars is actually happening, but that in turn shows the power of Star Wars fans as a whole. I have been following the show since the movie and start of the series in 2008, and will definitely be tuning in to see how it ends. I'm hoping that it will tie into Revenge of the Sith in an interesting way that more seamlessly bridges the gap, while showing us how Ahsoka and Rex managed to survive Order 66 and also connect to their first appearances in Star Wars Rebels. I can't wait for the final season next year, and I am motivated to make even more Clone Wars content here on my channel for the foreseeable future. The show has changed my life and inspired me in countless ways. It's why I'm called CloneBoyOllie in the first place. This trailer and the season have my full support, and I hope we can show Disney just how important and inspiring the Clone Wars is, so that we can introduce these great characters, events, and eras to the next generation of Star Wars fans. I also hope you enjoyed this breakdown of the SDCC 2018 trailer.